New this morning, a man is in jail after police say footprints in the fresh snow led them to their suspect. Officers spotted a suspicious vehicle in the area of the Family Fare grocery store in North Fargo around 2 this morning. Before they could make contact, they say the driver got out and ran away. Police followed his tracks for 2 miles and arrested Ralph Liabo for possession of a stolen vehicle. They say his shoes matched the prints they'd been following from the stolen car. Here's the latest on breaking news of area school shutdowns. Hundreds of thousands of families are scrambling this morning to rework their schedules after both North Dakota and Minnesota called off classes because of the coronavirus. Temporary closures announced yesterday morning in Minnesota, then last night in North Dakota, impact more than 900,000 kids, about 850,000 in Minnesota and 110,000 in North Dakota. Schools in North Dakota are shutting down for at least a week. In Minnesota, the governor ordered closures starting Wednesday, but many districts, including Moorhead and Dilworth, Glendon, Felton, are locking the doors right away this morning. That'll last for 2 weeks through March 27th. The order in North Dakota was a sudden change in policy. Governor Doug Burgum said on Friday that it would be inappropriate to close school at the time. But last night, he said the 5-day closure will give school officials time to come up with plans for a possible outbreak in their area. Much is still to be determined, but school leaders will continue to provide resources for the children of North Dakota.
When they are absent the routine of a school, their anxiety may escalate. And so with that, we are asking all of the adults that are in caring for a child or in a family's life or in a child's life, to access those resources. And simply, I think one of the best questions that we can do as adults is to ask children, what have you heard? And so that child can then share what they may have heard. Some may be true, some may not be true, but to have that open line of communication as we move through these very challenging times.
The governor says his executive order does not include daycares because infants and young children are considered to be low risk. He says those facilities can make the decision to close on their own. Moorhead school superintendent is urging students to continue practicing social distancing while away from the classroom and not to use the days off to get together with their friends. He says that defeats the whole idea of calling off classes to fight the spread of the coronavirus. Once instruction does resume again, it will be in the form of distance learning. But what will that look like is still in the works. Moorhead School Board members are working on details for distance learning, providing meals to students who rely on them, and accommodating young children of first responders who will have a tough time taking time off from work because their services will be needed. The board hopes to have plans in place later this week. Now let's check in with First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Nathan Hopper.
Yeah, good morning, Abby. Good morning, everybody. A lot of us are waking up to this kind of scene out and about this morning with some snow-covered parking lots, some snow-covered vehicles, so we need to brush the windshields off there, heading out and about, looking very closely at the traffic speeds there on I-29. I've been watching for most of the morning. Traffic speeds there look good, but I am worried about some of these overpasses and bridges as those have cool air on top and cool air on bottom, cooling that from both the top and the bottom, so could see some slippery bridges and overpasses out and about. But some of the roadways, especially in the Northern Valley, are snow covered, so may want to provide some extra time for your commute if you're heading anywhere in the Northern Valley. I was looking at surface observations in Grand Forks and Baudette. They are showing light snow at this time, though it's not showing up on radar. So under any of these clouds, could see some flurries flying. But we're seeing the more organized snow showers right here in this blue, just outside of the FM area, heading toward Ada and the Hawley area. So Highway 10 from Hawley to Fargo does look like maybe a little on the slippery side if you're heading also from Ada from Fargo as well. So keep that in mind. Again, may need some extra moments to get to where you're going. And that's why I have the morning commute cast here at the yellow light. Just may take you some extra moments to get to where you're going with those slippery spots. Temperatures just around freezing or below freezing for most of us. But for the afternoon drive, I do expect decreasing clouds, so some sunshine for that evening commute. So no sunglasses for the morning commute, but the afternoon commute may need those sunglasses, especially if you're driving from east to west into the setting sun. But I put a green light there for your evening commute. Temperatures now, we're coldest in Langdon, 12 degrees, but we are, for the most of us, in the 20s and 30s, so again, right around that freezing point. So especially when you see these temperatures in the upper 20s, best chance of seeing some icy spots on those roadways. Hour by hour planner for this afternoon shows some snow showers ending for this morning. maybe a few lingering flurries in a few spots by 9 o'clock. But looking at the colder air coming in with those northwesterly winds, most of us will cool down as we head through this afternoon. By lunchtime, I expect some sunshine in our North Dakota neighborhoods, still holding on to those clouds in Minnesota. But the northwest winds will be busy, and we'll keep our temperatures fairly muted, if not falling, for the evening hours. You can see by 5 o'clock that commute time. Temperatures in the 20s for everybody with some sunshine in a few spots. Of course, we'll have a full look at that 7-day forecast in a few moments. But for now, let's get a look at the traffic with Devin Fry and Traffic on the Move.
Thanks, Nathan. And one factor that I didn't anticipate when I made my way out the door this morning, you can see how dirty the windshield is. That is just from the 2 minutes that I've been on I-94. So the water and snow mixture getting kicked up onto the windshield from heavily trafficked areas, such as here on the interstates, that is creating some issue. Make sure to check your washer fluid before you leave the house today, because it's something I wish I did. But anyway, as you can see, hopefully here on I-94 is a little bit of an increased traffic flow. Like I said, the sloppy conditions on the roads are creating some visibility issues with just the standing water on the roadways getting kicked up into the windshield. That's basically the biggest factor that I've found on the morning drive this morning. Now, Nathan, like you alluded to earlier, there is a little bit of ice on the overpasses, and so that's going to be an area to watch out for. Overpasses and areas, exits, I should say, to and from the interstates. Those are the most slick areas, but really it's mainly just wet roads today. We're going to keep checking out the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your Traffic on the Move, I'm Devin Fry.
People who evacuated their apartment building for a day because of a late night fire are waking up in their homes this morning. Fire crews got a call around 11:30 Saturday night for a structure fire in the 800 block of 39th Street North in Grand Forks and found flames coming from a third-floor window. Fire damage is contained to a single unit, with some water damage to the 2 units below. Damage estimates are more than $10,000, but investigators are still trying to pinpoint the cause. Fargo and Cass County are ready with the sandbags they think they'll need for the spring's flood fight. Volunteers hit their goal and then some at Sandbag Central Friday afternoon, and they spent 4 days on the job and filled 232,000 sandbags. Operations shut down a little early Friday, but all of the equipment will stay in place for the next several weeks in case they need to fire it up again. Fargo-Moorhead is preparing for a 38-foot crest on the Red River. Here are the new numbers on coronavirus cases in our region. In Minnesota, 1,422 people have now been tested for the virus. Of those, 35 people have tested positive. The cases are in 11 different counties, mostly in the Twin City area. On the North Dakota side, 112 people have been tested, but there's still just that one confirmed case up in Minot. 17 people are being monitored for symptoms. As social distancing ramps up aimed at the coronavirus crisis, long-running shows in Las Vegas are being canceled or postponed. Last night, MGM Resorts International also announced it would close casino operations in Vegas and several other states. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is closing public schools as of today, although breakfast and lunch will be available for those who need it. He later announced that bars, restaurants, and cafes would be limited to takeout and delivery starting tomorrow morning. Cleaning supplies and hand sanitizer flew off the shelves in a rush of coronavirus panic shopping, and 2 Tennessee men snapped up a lot of it. They had plans to resell it at a huge profit, but now they're being ordered to stop reselling in-demand products online. A picture of Matt Cullivan standing in front of shelves of hand sanitizer in his storage unit sparked outrage. He and his brother listed to products on Amazon for up to $70, but Amazon cracked down on them for price gouging, which left them with 1,700 bottles of critical supplies that many people desperately need during the outbreak. The brothers have updated their e-commerce website, saying the products will be donated to a local church and first responders. Let's get to the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 60% of women and 55% of men do this every time they go on vacation. What is it? The answer is, I think Donna said this, overpacking, and I know I do that, but I want to be able to get to that last look of weather here.
That's right, yeah. So it's going to be some snow showers this morning, some slippery spots still, but conditions do improve into the evening hours, and high pressure joins us for St. Patrick's Day.
But that 40, that's looking